Hello and welcome to Yoga with Glenn. I'm Glenn. Today I have a nice, easy yoga flow that relates the ebb and flows of life to the ebb and flows of the ocean. Please like the video, consider subscribing to the channel, hop into something comfortable, hop on your mat, and let's get started. To begin our practice today, meet me here in Sukhasana, or easy cross-legged seated position, either on a bolster or pillow or blanket, or you can just sit on the floor, whatever you prefer. Ground into whatever space you're working in. You can relax the eyes closed if you like. Just imagine yourself at the beach, near the ocean. You hear the waves crashing in and out. You feel the sun on your face. You feel the breeze brushing against your body. Maybe feel the sand between your toes if that's what you like. Just imagine it's the perfect day, perfect temperature, the water is the perfect color, waves crashing in, crashing out. You can come back to this space throughout the practice today. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. Starting with an exhale, let all your air out. An inhale, feel the belly, the ribs, feel the chest lift, and open mouth exhale. Inhale, feel the belly, the ribs, feel the chest lift, and open mouth exhale. Last one, nice deep breath, feel the belly rise, the ribs expand, the chest lift, hold at the top, take one more sip of air in, and open mouth exhale, let it all go. I encourage you in today's practice to use Ujjayi pranayama. If you don't know what that is, it's constricting your tongue to the roof of your mouth, or placing the tongue on the roof of your mouth. It constricts the airway a little bit, and it's victorious breath or oceanic breath, and it sounds like waves crashing in and out. So it's through the nose only. Your mouth is closed, your tongue's pressing in the roof of your mouth. You just make the sounds of the ocean. Now let's start our postures with some neck rolls. Roll your right ear to the right shoulder. Roll your chin down to your chest. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin up to the sky. Opposite direction. Left ear to left shoulder. Chin down to your chest. Right ear, right shoulder. All the way up to the sky. And again, reverse. Left ear, left shoulder. Right ear, right shoulder, excuse me. Chin down to chest. Raise your chin all the way up with an inhale. All the way down with an exhale. One more time, all the way up to the sky. And relax back to a neutral position. Bring your fingertips and touch your shoulders. Start to draw circles with your elbows. You can be as big as you want, big circles, small circles. As long as we get some movement in the shoulders, and some warmth in the shoulders. And stop in the middle wherever you are and reverse the circle. Drawing big circles with the elbows. Now stop in the middle, bring the elbows to touch, and take the elbows out. And bring them in to touch once more. Bring them out and release your hands down to your thighs. With an inhale, the arms come forward and up. And we drop the right arm. And we sway and bend to the right side. Like the waves of an ocean, we switch arms. Take a bend to the left. Inhale up. Exhale down with that Ujjayi pranayama. Same thing, switch arms, bend over to the left side, reverse, right side, inhale, and exhale as you bend. Next time, inhale, come back to the center, and the arms return to the thighs. Now roll either over your legs if you're facing the correct way on your mat, or just meet me on your mat. Come off of your prop if you had one. Meet me in neutral table posture. With an inhale, lift the chin, lift the chest, tailbone towards the sky, dropping the belly. And exhale, round the back, tuck the tailbone, send the spine towards the sky, chin falls towards the chest. Now have some fluidity here. Inhale for cow pose. Moving as smooth as the water in the ocean. Inhale, cow, and exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, nice and smooth. No abrupt movements, nice and fluid like the water. Exhale once more for cats, and then come back to a neutral table position. Make sure your toes are tucked, and then press back into downward facing dog. And while we're here, since this is our first downward dog, we can pedal out the feet, stretching one calf, stretching the other. Feel it in the hamstrings as well. Now look to the front of your mat and take nice little baby steps until you walk between your hands. Inhale for a halfway lift, and exhale, fold into a standing forward fold. Inhale, rise, circling the arms up, touching the palms overhead, and bring the hands down to heart center. Now remember, I encourage you to use that ujjayi breath, that victorious breath, making the sounds of the waves in and out. I encourage you to use that throughout this practice. With an inhale, lift the hands up, and exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Step the right foot back, drop the right knee, and rise up for low lunge with the back bend. And exhale, place the hands back down to the mat. Remember to move with nice, smooth fluidity, just like water, just like at the ocean. Step the left foot back, table posture, lower down. Inhale for low cobra, and exhale down. Inhale, table posture. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the left leg, three-legged dog, and exhale, step that foot between the hands. Drop the back knee, rise up once more for a low crescent lunge, and then exhale, back down. Inhale, knee comes up. Same inhale, step the foot between the hands for a halfway lift, and then exhale, fold. And then inhale, rise, circle the arms up, touch the palms overhead, and bring the hands down to heart center. Inhale, circle the arms up, touch the palms overhead, and then swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step back with the left leg this time, left knee comes to the ground, rise up into low crescent lunge. And exhale down, hands to mats. Step back into high plank. Lower down, all the way to the ground. Release the toes. Inhale, low cobra. And exhale down. Press up into a high plank. And back into a downward facing dog. Lift the right foot this time. Exhale, step the right foot between the hands. Left knee to the ground. Inhale. Low crescent lunge, and exhale down. Plant the hands, lift the back knee. With an inhale, step forward with a halfway lift, and exhale, fold. And inhale, rise, circling the arms up, touching the palms overhead, and bring the hands down to heart center. Hands and arms come up, and dive forward, forward fold.
Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Step back with the left foot. Set yourself up for warrior two. And then when you're ready and planted, rise up into that warrior two, gazing over the fingers of the front arm. Remember to move nice and smooth, just like the waves of the ocean. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, come forward to extended side angle. Inhale, back up to warrior two. And straighten the front leg. Reverse triangle. And exhale, shift forward, lower down into triangle pose. Back up to warrior two. Reverse that warrior again. And then windmill the arms down to the mat. Leave the left hand planted in this semi-high lunge. And then we're going to twist, looking over the right leg. And exhale, hand comes back down to the mat. Step back into high plank, shift forward, lower down, chaturanga vinyasa, flip the toes, and come up either into upward facing dog or high cobra, wherever you're at. Meet me back into downward facing dog. Lift the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, step that through. Inhale, rise up into high lunge. Open up into warrior two. Pause here for a moment. Remember to move just as fluid, like the water, like the waves coming crashing on the shore. When you're ready, inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, back up, straightening the leg. Reverse triangle. Shift forward. Lower that down. Triangle pose. Extended triangle pose. Back to center, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior once more. And then windmill the arms down to the mat. Spin the back toes around. Right hand stays planted. And open up for that high lunge variation twist. And exhale down, hand to mat. Step back into high plank. Shift forward, lower down. Flip the toes. Inhale for upward facing dog or high cobra, whatever you prefer. Flip the toes again, and then meet me in downward facing dog. Lift the right leg into the air. Exhale, step that forward. With an inhale, the left leg follows into a halfway lift. And exhale, fold. And inhale, rise. Circling the arms up, touching the palms overhead, and bringing the hands down to heart center. Now you can stay where you are on your mat, but I'm going to face you and bring your feet about a little more than shoulder width. Toes pointed out about 45 degrees. And we're going to go into malasana, or that yogi squat. We're going to slowly lower down. I know you can do this. Try to keep your torso straight. Press the thighs against the elbows, press the elbows against the thighs. And hold this yogi squat for a second. Remember to breathe here, ujjayi breath, take you through. And when you're ready, plant the hands on the earth. You can bring them around and sit down on your bottom. Legs come out wide. And we're going to do a wide-legged seated forward fold. So inhale, hands and arms come up. Twist over to the right side or pivot over to the right side. And then exhale, fold. Grabbing a hold of something, whether that be the shin, the ankle, the foot, the toes, whatever you have a hold of, hold on to it. Inhale, lift the chest and chin. And exhale, round forward, trying to get deeper in that stretch. And we'll hold this for just a few breaths. We're trying to keep the opposite hip on the ground, not straining, breathing, using that ujjayi breath, victorious breath. And release your leg. Slowly walk your hands back up to center. Hands and arms come up, back to the center, and twist over to the left side. And exhale, fold, grabbing hold of something, either the shin, ankle, foot, toes, whatever you have a hold of, hold on to it. And inhale, lift the chest and chin. And exhale, round and fold over that leg. Remember, opposite hip still on the ground. Wherever you are, just hold it. Keep breathing. If you can fold all the way over your knee, that's great. If you're at the height that I am, that's great. If you're even higher, that's okay too. Another couple breaths. After your next exhale, inhale, slowly walk your hands up. Shift back over to the center. Then gather your feet in. And if you're facing sideways on your mat, you turn and face the regular way again. And come to the almost the top of your mat, upper 3/3 or 3/4 of your mat. Extend the arms out and slowly roll down onto your back, keeping the knees bent, the soles of the feet on the ground, palms down on the ground. Bring in the feet a little bit closer to your glutes, maybe so close as you can touch the heel with your fingertips. And with an inhale, we're going to press our hips up into a bridge. And exhale, come back down. And with an inhale, bring your arms up, fingertips towards the sky. And exhale, extend your arms overhead. Inhale here. And exhale, swing the arms all the way down. Now with an inhale, you're going to press your hips up into a bridge pose and bring your arms all the way overhead. At the same time, your hips should reach their peak as your fingertips are touching the ground above your head. So what that looks like is with an inhale, hips come up, fingertips on the ground, and exhale, everything comes down. That's rolling bridge. So again, moving with that fluidity, moving just like water would. Inhale, press the hips up, roll the arms up, rolling bridge. And exhale, down nice and smooth. Inhale. And then roll it down, nice and smooth. Float the feet off the ground, bring the knees to touch. Bring the arms out to a T, and then let both knees fall over to the left. Still bring the knees together. You can leave the arms out to a T, or you can take the left hand, bring it over the right leg, and just give it a little bit of pressure if you want to enhance the stretch. You can turn the chin over to the opposite side, the right side, or you can leave the chin neutral and raise the right arm overhead for a nice side body stretch. Or you can just leave the chin neutral, arms out to a T, whatever you want to do. You have a few options here. But we'll be here for a few breaths. Now's a good time to remember your spot at the ocean. Sitting on the sand, feeling the nice warmth of the sun against your skin, listening to the waves come in and go back out, envisioning the water as the perfect color, the perfect day, the perfect temperature. After an exhale, inhale, float the legs back to center. And then exhale, they fall over to the opposite side. Same options here. You can take the right arm, just give a little weight to the left leg. You can tilt the chin over to the left shoulder. Leave the chin neutral. Have the left arm overhead for a side body stretch. Whatever you want to do here. We'll be here for a few breaths. After an exhale, inhale, float the legs back to center. Place the soles of the feet on the ground. Set yourself up for a nice, comfortable Shavasana, whatever that means to you. You can have a prop either under the knees or under the head, under the shoulders, whatever you like. Let the feet fall out. Bring some space between the arms and the side body. Start to surrender your weight to the earth. And for this one, you can imagine that you're just laying out at the beach. Feeling the heat of the sun all over your body, feeling that gentle pressure of the sand. Feeling the breeze rush over your body. Listening to the waves crash. Just a nice, perfect day. Now, if you'd like to stay in Shavasana, I certainly invite you to. But if you'd like to follow along, start to bring awareness to your toes, to your fingertips, to your ankles, to your wrists. Maybe scrunch your toes, make a fist, roll out your ankles, roll out the wrists. Start to bring movement to the body. Stretch the arms overhead, point the toes. Nice full body stretch. Bend one knee. Place the sole of the foot on the ground. Press off that knee and roll over to your side into a fetal posture. Just letting the nervous system catch up here before we move into Sukhasana, or easy cross-legged seated position. When you're ready, press yourself up. You can either sit on a prop, wherever you like, or you can sit just straight on the ground on your mat. Bring the palms on the knees, nice tall spine. Chin falls towards the chest. Relax the eyes closed. Imagine that spot on the beach again. You're sitting up, toes are in the sand. You're watching the waves as they form, as they begin to crash, as they roll up onto the shore. Imagining that sound
Feeling the breeze, cooling your skin, but at the same time feeling the sun warming your skin. Like the ocean, you can find your flow. Embrace the tides of life, whether it be a high tide or a low tide. And let your soul be carried by the rhythm of those waves. Let's take 3 consecutive breaths to close our practice today. Bring the chin up to neutral, level with the ground. You can leave the eyes closed if you like. Inhale, fill the belly, the ribs, feel the chest lift, and open mouth exhale. Inhale, fill the belly, the ribs, the chest. Hold at the top, take another sip in, and open mouth exhale. Our last breath, let's circle the arms up. Then inhale and touch the palms overhead, and exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. I invite you to get out there and go sit by an ocean, wherever you live. And if you don't live close to the ocean, maybe now is the perfect time to take that vacation to somewhere that has an ocean. Whatever you choose to do, just find a nice, relaxing place. Thank you, and namaste.